Celestial resonance is a powerful healing tool, and it's so much more than just the voice you hear in me. And as such, that's why it's just really important to understand. So let's get started on this topic. So I'm going to start discussing celestial resonance living light language by taking a step backwards and looking at what is light language and where does celestial resonance fit within that spectrum. So light language in general, if we imagined it to be this wide, I've got to get my hands right, this is all of light language. It has two main areas within it. Light language seen and felt. You know, so this spectrum of the whole spectrum here, I always have trouble with that, is, you know, when we're seeing these powerful symbols, artworks portraying the technology really behind light language. That's what I would call light language seen and felt. And it is very wonderful, and I've got some beautiful pictures there for you demonstrating light language seen and felt. Then we have living light language. And as you know, I call celestial resonance living light language. So here's the broad spectrum of light language. Within that, we have half of it, say, is seen and felt, and the other half here, living light language. Living light language uses sound as its vehicle. It's not static. It comes out of a living channel or vessel like myself in the moment, connecting through the transmission to the listener, pouring forth what is needed. It's ever changing. So now I'm going to talk to you about living light language, because obviously celestial resonance falls into that category. If we can go to the next screen. How do people experience, how do you experience living light language? It's pretty important to understand this. Living light language bypasses the mental plane, bypasses the mind, tapping directly usually into the emotional body, really creating an opportunity for quite profound shifts and profound healing. As a result, it's usually first experienced or felt through the emotional body filter. People are very different, but you know, it can absolutely bring up tears, joy, deep relaxation, or fear, or anger. All these things can come up when listening to light language and living light language transmission. A lot of people do feel physical sensations when listening to certainly celestial resonance, and at this point I will talk more to celestial resonance because that is my experience. So they can feel tingling, heat in their body in certain places. Often people describe feeling hands on their body. They open their eyes to look and not seeing anything, but they're feeling that connection. A lot of people can go on, have visions or take spiritual journeys of all different types. Sometimes people can experience a lot of anxiety, especially the first time they hear living light language or celestial resonance living light language as well. This is for many reasons, because it's so different. For some people that's scary, or because it's very powerful and it's connecting to ancient memories that may be uncomfortable due to persecution or wounding issues. Or that particular transmission may be connecting to an aspect that you hold wounding within, and so it's bringing that up to be experienced, felt and cleared. Some people feel nothing, and that's really awesome as well. There's no judgment. You are still receiving, as you will come to understand, frequencies, keys and codes with each transmission, regardless of whether you're conscious of feeling it or not. Transmissions can make a lot of people feel very ungrounded, so it's always important to ground certainly after a celestial resonance living light language transmission, and I try most of the time to add that at the end of a transmission to make sure people have grounded. But if that's not enough, I always encourage people to go outside and get on the earth, get their bare feet on the earth, or do whatever they need to ground themselves. And as I've also said, these transmissions, light language, living light language in general, celestial resonance, absolutely, are very powerfully healing. And they can bring up healing crisis for some people, depending on what's being worked with. It's unique to every person. So it's just important to know that and honour that. And I'll talk a little bit more about that soon. What it's important to realise in that process is that you are always safe and protected, and no healing process you are experiencing is anything but good. It's really important. That's why it's really important to be careful when first connecting to light language transmissions, certainly to celestial resonance transmissions, until you are very experienced with listening to this energy, interacting with this energy. I really recommend that you only work with one transmission per day, maybe up to twice a day, until you really get clear with that transmission, you've anchored that transmission. Then you can go and look another one and work with that. At some point in time, it becomes a lot easier to listen to more. What does happen with a lot of people, actually it's not an infrequent thing nowadays, people connect to this, they really experience it deeply, they know it's doing good stuff for them, and they're so committed to their journey they can just dive in and listen to like the whole YouTube channel in one day. And this is not advisable. It would be like going and having 24 hours of non-stop deep tissue massage, or going to 10 massive deep shamanic healings in one day. You know, you're putting yourself into a very extreme amount of clearing, and it's going to bring up experiences that are intense and not necessary. So it's just about understanding that and taking it one step at a time. When you're very familiar with a transmission and you've worked with it many times, absolutely you can listen to that lots, because you've done a lot of the clearing on that level, and it's okay to be a part of your daily routine at that point. Always follow your heart and your common sense when it comes to these things, but it's just important to understand that, because if you don't understand that, you can, with your enthusiasm and your desire to shift and change and grow and evolve, overdo it. Yeah, that's what I want to say. So we'll go to the next screen now, and I want to talk to you about why living light language is different to sound healing. Sound healing is something I am very fond of, very passionate of. It's a big part of my life. So why is living light language different to sound healing? Well, firstly, living light language is a multi-dimensional form of sound healing. So it's not simply a symphony of beautiful musical tones and vibrations and resonance creating these relaxing sounds that are impacting the physical etheric body. It's much more than that. The really cool thing about living light language, and certainly about celestial resonance, is that the channel's voice is only a very small part of this symphony of frequencies that are enveloping you when you listen to it. How I sound when I sing is completely irrelevant. Honestly, it's got nothing to do with it at all, other than making it a bit more of a pleasant experience. There's so much more going on. The frequencies within a living light language transmission hold within them profound technology that is really beyond human comprehension. And that's pretty perfect, because otherwise we'd limit it with our labels. When you're listening, these high frequencies, keys and codes, and really complex technology, especially when we're talking celestial resonance, I'll go into that in a minute, weave into your multidimensional physical etheric body, into your DNA, depending on the fractal of living light language you're working with, creating healing responses, alignment, and supporting the mastership journey. The resonant frequencies of light language and all the technology weave within it creates these big vibratory responses in your body. That's why they are so impactful. And not only in your body, but in the entire listening environment, and into anyone that you're connecting to, and into our earth through you. And one thing I very much love about celestial resonance, living light language, and other forms, depending on what people are doing, is that it often connects to and embodies consciousness. Example, I might be transmitting light language from the being Saturn and bringing through the energy, frequencies, keys and codes of Saturn, bringing through the consciousness of Saturn to uniquely connect with you. So a very cool thing about living light language is that the healing frequencies are alive. So each individual experiences unique energy each and every time they connect. It's ever changing. Very, very cool. So we'll go to the next screen again. The key features that set celestial resonance apart from other living light language styles. Here we go. Celestial resonance. So we've got this full spectrum, get it right, Kai, of living light language of light language. Then we've got living light language. Then within all the ways living light languages comes through, here's this little part there called celestial resonance, living light language. And within that is each individual channel of celestial resonance, living light language. So celestial resonance is a fractal of the full spectrum of light language, and I am simply a fractal within that. There are an increasing number of light language channels on the planet. Many light language channels channel a single goddess frequency or a particular soul group frequencies, like Syrian soul group, of which I'm a part. Others connect into ascended masters, realms, mythical creatures, bring through those energies, however that is for each individual and each transmission, and weave those frequencies. Everyone has their own unique sound, feel, and style. So celestial resonance stands alone within this big spectrum. As I said, it is a spectrum of living light language, and the key reasons are for you to understand that it's all about the star temple technology behind it and the celestial resonance orb. You can see a little picture there in the corner, that blue sort of Merkaba with a heart in the middle. That's a two-dimensional concept, a way I've drawn how I perceive the technology of the celestial resonance orb. Certainly it's three-dimensional and much different to that, but that's an example that makes it so unique within the spectrum. In fact, all initiated channels, and I'm seeing quite a few of them on the call even here today joining us, which is fantastic. I welcome you all, of celestial resonance, are actually becoming, in their initiation, individual portals of the celestial temple and hold the technology of this celestial resonance orb within them so that they can direct that. As such, all celestial resonance transmissions weave this star temple technology to channel celestial realms, beings, grid points, etc. It's really quite profound. The objective of all transmissions of celestial resonance is to facilitate the human mastership and ascension process at this time by supporting the transmission of celestial frequencies into the DNA of the individuals listening via their divine blueprints and into our earth grid, in order to allow us to flow with the divine plan, to flow with the positive ascension timeline, if you like, to assist our shift from three-dimensional to fifth-dimensional frequency and reality, and to support each individual to fully step into their destiny and purpose and master, to support the co-creation of our new world. So really, celestial resonance is supporting us to be cosmic consciousness in action. And a very big part of it is, weaved into it, is this very profound divine blueprint technology that would take me a long time to describe to you in this forum. I wouldn't go there. So what we need to realize is that at this time on Earth, yes, we are experiencing a lot more profound, rare celestial alignments in the sky than is normal throughout the history of the Earth, throughout the history of humanity. I have people saying, geez, it seems like there's this rare mega event happening every other month. And the truth is, yes, but that is part of the divine plan. We are shifting the frequency of our solar system, the frequency of the Earth and all beings on the Earth, from 3D to 5D. This is a massive shift in energy. If you think of frequency waves going like so, and we're going like this. So where does that energy come from? Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It has to be be transformed. So the way the divine plan is working with this is through the great central sun, through all the celestial realms. They are focusing these celestial energies into our solar system via the starry beings in our solar system and pouring them into us through our DNA, raising our frequency through that, and through us raising the frequency of the Earth as we allow that energy to go into the Earth through our hearts. And thus, celestial resonance has returned to the planet at this time to support this process because it's vitally important. And truth be known, there have been energies that have been trying to prevent the transfer of this energy. They have been harvesting this energy for other purposes, and celestial resonance, the celestial temple, is allowing us to bypass all those and get the energy that we need to support our personal ascension process and mastership process, and to support that for the earth. It is really important, and I'm very passionate about getting these frequencies out there and getting as many channels as I can out on the planet to support our ascension at this time. So how does this living light language work for you individually? So you're sitting there and you're now aware of why this is here and what it's doing, but how does it actually work with you physically? If you've listened to a few of my transmissions, you may have heard me describing some of this process to help you become conscious of it. Whether or not I describe this or another channel describes this is irrelevant. This is what is going on at the most basic, simple level that I can try to explain it. So again, it still is all about the technology of the celestial temple, that star temple technology, accessed via that multidimensional grid point that we access as channels, and that is directed through the celestial resonance orb that you can see in 2D there in front of you at the bottom of the page. Actually, there on the top of the page or the screen, you'll see a picture of me channeling light language in a divine blueprint ceremony that an amazing artist did for me at one point. So it helps you also get an understanding of what's going on energetically here. When the light language starts, when you start listening, when you press play on a YouTube video, you are connected into the temple almost instantly, and instantly placed in a very protective and nurturing space. The celestial resonance orb manifests in front of you holographically, connecting into you via your higher heart, which is found at the thymus glands. You're then placed in an etheric pyramid of light, connected into the celestial temple, which envelops you within a protected and nurturing space. As it integrates, listeners are instantly connected up into the unified field as the toroidal energy of the heart then expands to its widest capacity in that moment. At the same time, you are plugged via your heart to the cosmic gateway at the center of the great central sun, and the earth gateway at the core, the beating heart of Mother Gaia. And these three hearts entrain. They attune in frequency and they beat as one. It is with this connection all established through the technology of the orb that the portals then open up, that the connections are made that you need in that moment to the universal multidimensional grid points, to the star temples or the planets or the stars, or the places on our earth that are like the pyramids, whatever is the intent of that particular transmission, to allow you to receive the frequencies you need in that moment in relation to the intent held in that transmission. There is a connection into the divine blueprint at this time, and the divine blueprint is that electromagnetic mandala within your DNA that holds the energy that you chose to support you to achieve what you meant to achieve in this life. It's a very important thing, and that's another story. So if we go to the next screen, celestial beings, this is the right screen, thank you, Darren, come through these portals, through these connections that have been created to support the transmission. And it may well be different for each and every person listening, what they are receiving. Technology, frequencies and codes then flow through into the multidimensional physical etheric body, connecting, as I said, deeply into your DNA, assuring you receive exactly what you need in that listening moment for your personal alignment, growth, evolution, and overall well-being. And of course, then there is the actual sound, the resonance of the voice, and any other sounds we are adding to that, which, as I said, is such a small part of this big funnel, this big portal that's over you, pouring all these frequencies down into you. And then within this big portal, there's my little voice and some music I might have stuck along with that, but that is still impacting you energetically in a vibrational way. Every time you listen to a transmission, you will have a different experience. Each person listening to that transmission will have their own unique experience. Even if you're all listening at the same time, you will all have a different experience, completely unique to you and in alignment with your highest good. So I'm going to very quickly explain why that is, because it's important, and then we will get straight into the astrology of today. So why is each listener's experience unique to them, and each journey they have with an individual transmission always unique and different? And the reason for this is that each listener has unique energetic makeup and their own unique divine blueprint. So no two people will ever have the same energetic experience when listening to a transmission. That's the reason why. Additionally, each listener, if I'm talking about you and you are changing each and every second of each and every day. The planets and the stars the planets in our solar system, the sun and the moon, are moving around you through different constellations, connecting into your divine blueprint differently in each moment. And you are integrating energy. Yeah, if you go back, that's it. Integrating energies differently in each moment. So your frequency continues to shift each and every moment of your life. And as such, each and every time you listen to a particular transmission, you will be a different person and you will be accessing different things. It's pretty magical. And of course, add to that the earth is shifting all the time too, that these alignments in the sky are shifting. So their intent and what they are sending to us is changing in each and every moment. And again, that's another reason why you'll be accessing different frequencies. So there you have it. That's pretty much it. I hope you all now have a much better understanding of what celestial resonance is, what makes it so unique within the spectrum of living light language, and why it's here supporting us right now. I feel confident, actually, that you have a much better understanding of how celestial resonance supports you and our Earth at this time and how it works. And as a result, I'm certain you can see why I've returned to Earth at this time to bring this light language back to the planet and get it to be more and more a part of our everyday life here on Earth as we enter this new golden age. And I really am excited that I am no longer the only star priestess in the Celestial Temple. There are now many star priestesses and priests around the planet who are facilitating these frequencies every day also to their areas of impact, which is truly wonderful and exactly how it is meant to be right now. So I trust you'll enjoy continuing to work with celestial resonance transmissions to support your mastership and ascension journey at this time on Earth. It sure helps us all so much. Bring it on.